Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-January 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month or a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it, Scorpio. As always, my readings are very intuitive, and I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive along with the meaning of the tarot cards. But I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising to get a full picture of everything that's going on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's happened in the last few weeks. So what's wrapping up, coming to a close for you. Column number 2 is going to take us through the end of January. Then we're going to do a column on money, a column on love, and our 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. So let's go ahead and jump in, Scorpio. The summary card that we have is stretch. Some of you might have been feeling like you are trying something new, like you're stretching into a new era. You could feel like you've been stretched a little thin. Let's see what messages are coming up though, Scorpio, for you. Okay, the first card we have is the Chariot. Somebody once described this to me as the vroom vroom card. It really means that action and change is happening. It means you're on a journey. In some cases it means a new vehicle, so some of you might have gotten a new car this year. But it really means that like things are moving and shaking. Of course, we'll clarify that a little bit further for you. The next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the Prince or Princess Charming card. It's a very romantic card. It could also be a card of proposals. So some of you could have been getting married or engaged or have a new relationship. Sometimes this is like a business proposal or a job proposal too, but it's just like really the perfect opportunity or proposal, if that makes sense, Scorpio. And then at the bottom, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain, very much so a money card. So some of you could have had a shift in money already in 2022, or you're on this journey to a place with more money. But let's clarify and see what we've got going on. So we have the Knight of Cups again. So reiterating what we said the first time, this is again that Princess or Prince Charming card. Very romantic, very proposal-like. Some of you could have been like on a journey to better yourself or work on yourself before getting in a relationship. Some of you could be working through a relationship, or some of you could be like on a place where you've been working hard to get to a new job or a new opportunity. But it feels like you've reached that. So you've been on this path, and if you haven't felt it already, I definitely think you'll have this kind of Prince Charming person or proposal coming your way, Scorpio. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, collaboration. I do feel like that this Knight of Cups, well, it's definitely person related. So again, it could be a relationship, but it could be like a former boss of yours is reaching out to you again, offering you a job. There's some sort of human-like connection that's very, very strong associated with this journey and now this Knight of Cups card. Then we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmares, anxiety. This person is like sitting up in bed worried about what's going on. So some of you have been like laying awake worrying about certain things. Specifically, I would say about money, just given that this is on top of the Nine of Pentacles. But again, money's looking really good for you. So hopefully now, Scorpio, that we're moving into the end of the month, you can kind of let that go and put that to rest. I would say what you've been worried about, you don't need to be worrying about anymore. Let's move on to our next column though. What's going to happen through the end of the month? So taking us through the end of December, we have the card Productivity. You are going to have a very productive last few weeks of January, I would say, Scorpio, but let's clarify. Okay, so definitely some money cards coming in for sure. It seems like there's going to be some sort of new money for you. We'll talk in our money column as well. We do have two Pentacle cards in this column though. Pentacles are earth signs and it's also very physical. But let's read through these. The Ace of Pentacles typically signifies a new job, raise, promotion, investment, new income. So I do think some of you are getting that job proposal or that business proposal. That financial gain is definitely coming towards you, Scorpio. We'll clarify, of course. Then we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is very bold, very leadership-like, very charming. It's also a card of courage, so make sure that you are feeling yourself going into this new opportunity. Be brave, be strong, know that you have the traits that you need to accomplish whatever you're working on. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, this is a card of money coming in. This could be leaving a legacy. This could be retirement, inheritance. I do think that this is more related to a new job or promotion with some sort of money. And it's long-term money, like leaving a legacy, having a lot to go around, kind of putting your stamp. So it's going to be really, really good. Let's clarify a little bit further though, of course. We're going to throw another pentacle in there for you. Love the Sun card as well. We have a Four of Pentacles. This is a card, oftentimes desire for long-term security. So this paired with that Ace of Pentacles, I do think that this next money move, whether it's job or promotion, is going to be very long-term for you. It's going to be that long-term security that you've been hoping and waiting for, Scorpio. Totally makes sense with the productivity card too, with this being related to a new job. Then we have the Sun card. This is a card of everything. It's material joy, happiness, successful outcomes. Again, I was saying you need to be really confident in what you're doing because there's no way that you can fail, Scorpio. This looks so good for you. There's so much money around it. There's so much positivity around it. All of the good traits you have and you are going to receive. Then at the bottom we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very curious. Sometimes it's like gossip or looking for truth. I just think that you're going to be living into your truth is the message. Again, this is very long term. This is going to be serving a purpose for you that you haven't felt before, or being fulfilled in a way that you haven't felt before. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our money specific column and see what we have there. In the money column, this can be anything: job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything of that sort. And see what we come up with. The first card we have is the Five of Wands. This is a card of rivalry, challenges, some obstacles. The interesting thing though with this card is they're fighting with wands, they're not fighting with swords. So it's they're learning how to fight. So when I see this typically is small obstacles or little bumps in the road. So there might be a disagreement or some sort of minor challenge you didn't anticipate coming up through the end of the month, but nothing major. For those of you leaving a job, maybe when you give notice, your current boss is kind of upset, but again, it seems very small in the big picture of things. Then we have the Queen of Wands. This is very confident, very self-assured. This is a good thing. You need to be confident. Again, you have those two confidence cards right next to each other. So you really need to keep your head held high and make sure that you're very confident going into this, Scorpio. Then we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is indicating lots of different options. If you look at this card, there's something different in every cup. I feel like for some of you, you just may have multiple paths you can go on. This might not be one offer coming in. You could have just multiple directions you can go in, Scorpio, so you'll have to make that decision on where you want to go. But wherever you choose to go is going to be quite beneficial for you. Let's clarify this column and see what we can come up with. Yes, definitely I see a lot of you moving jobs, switching investments, that sort of thing, maybe slightly changing the way you're running your business. Definitely a shift coming in for you. It's just too good not to go, Scorpio. The King of Cups is the next card we have. This is very supportive, very tolerant, very leadership-like. As I mentioned before when I said that you may butt heads with your boss or they might be upset when you resign, I do feel like that is this scenario that I was explaining before. They might be don't go, we can do this for you, we can do this for you. Makes sense because you have the Seven of Cups too with lots of options. I would say to probably still go just because this new opportunity is looking so good for you, Scorpio. I would take the plunge and move on. We have the World card next to, which this is literally the world going full circle. This is completing a lesson, completing a journey, completing a goal. Very much so a card of completion. In this case, completing a job or a business or a project and moving on to the next thing makes total sense. And as you end and go into that new chapter with that Queen of Wands, you need to be confident and be self-assured. Then at the bottom here, on top of our Seven of Cups, we have the Eight of Cups. So you look here in the Eight of Cups, these cups are stacked up very nice. They look wonderful, and this person is still walking away from them. So the message here is like, I do think that some of you will be leaving your job or leaving a current investment or business and moving on to something new. There's just too many other options out there. There's something better out for you. So I do think you will move on to something new. That's a pretty clear message with the Eight of Cups and the World there. Now let's take a look though at our next column, which is all about love. So love, relationships, children, and see what's on that front for you, Scorpio. The first card that we have is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. This can be a card of greed, but when I see it in the relationship column, this is typically somebody that wants to be in a relationship long-term, wants to get married, wants to start a family, wants to buy a house together. So I think some of you are wanting that long-term security. Again, it could be a family, or it could be a relationship, or it could be children. But it feels like there's a desire here in the love realm for you, Scorpio. Then moving down to our next card, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense and feeling like you have to protect yourself against competition. If you look closely at this card, there's one person standing, but then there's all these other wands of like people trying to hit you, and it's very defensive and trying to protect yourself. So some of you could be like feeling like you're having to defend yourself in a current relationship, or maybe if you're in a new relationship, like exes are texting you trying to cause problems. There feels to be some sort of self-defense going on. And then we have the Five of Cups at the bottom. The Five of Cups is a card of low feelings. This is like loss, regret. Sometimes it's feeling not loved. If you look at the card, the cups are spilled over here. This person's dressed in all black, their head's hanging low, and they're like grieving these spilled cups. Some of you could still be getting over an ex is the message that's coming through. Like even if you were having to defend yourself, and that makes sense why you're wanting this long term, like you're kind of still grieving that relationship, and that's okay. Of course, we're going to clarify all of this, but it feels like some of you are still trying to get over a previous relationship. The first card that we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an ace card, this is a card of newness, so new ideas, new mental clarity. It could be surgery for some of you, or potentially you're in a relationship with somebody who's going to be going through a surgery, or somebody in your family is going through surgery. Again, that could be that desire. Maybe health is something that you're seeking long-term, or someone in your family is seeking long-term. It could be a new relationship for some of you, though. Again, it is that card of newness. I do think, though, for those of you seeking that long-term, it will be fulfilled. Maybe not immediately, but in the near future. Then we have the Strength card next. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, and with the Lion here, this is very much so a card of courage. I feel like in this self-defense position, maybe you weren't being supported, and you kind of like were in a position where you were having to support yourself. You were defending yourself and supporting yourself, and I think it just took a lot of strength to get through that position. So like rather than getting love from somebody else, you're providing yourself with a lot of self-love. Hopefully that resonates with some of you or makes some sense. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of hard work. It's about mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. But when I see the Eight of Pentacles, it's about working hard, knowing the work that you're doing is good. Some of you could, like I said, be missing a relationship. Maybe you worked really hard for this relationship and it still just didn't work out. Like, I don't think it's because you weren't putting in the effort, Scorpio, is the message that's coming through there. So now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. So let's see what we have there. We have the card Time. So oftentimes this is like telling us now is the time to act, or sometimes it's saying it may take a little bit more time for things to come to fruition. But let's see what messages we get. I do think that this is saying for the most part that you've been waiting for something. It may take a little bit more time. We have the Hangman, which is a very stagnant card. It literally is as it seems. You're hanging upside down by your foot, and it's like you need more information before you can move forward, Scorpio. So some of you could definitely be feeling stuck right now, like you're waiting for that next thing so you can know when to move forward. You're waiting for the time to be right. Then we have the Magician card. The Magician card is very creative, it's very focused, and it gives you the ability to turn your visions into reality. The Magician is a very good card to have anywhere in the spread. It's like telling you what you want will come to you, so think about what you want. I do think for those of you in this waiting period, waiting for more information, you have the ability to create what you want, so you need to be focusing on what you want. Then we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is again looking for truth, which makes sense because I feel like for some of you with the Hangman, you're like waiting for some piece of information before you make your move. And I feel like the message here with the Magician is to just make your move and go for it. But let's clarify and see what we've got going on. We have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a low feeling card. It can be a card of heartbreak, loss, depression. I feel like you're like upset that something is taking so long. Scorpio is really the message that's coming through. Like you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be the Hangman sitting there hanging by a foot. But you do need to just know, like I said with the Magician, I think the time is right for you. You can go for it. On top of the Magician, we have the Six of Wands. This is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. Whatever you put your mind to, Scorpio, you're going to get it. So I would say go for it, honestly. It will be very successful. Rather than feeling like you're waiting for something, just take the plunge, go for it, jump right in. Be thinking about creating your visions into reality. Then we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It's gifts, it's innocence. Again, with the truth, I think the truth is going to come to you. I'm getting the message that you don't need to wait for this one piece of information, but I do think that you are going to get the piece of information that has you in that Hangman situation. It will be coming to you. Overall, I think things look really, really good, Scorpio. Definitely capitalize on that new job. Seems like a wonderful opportunity for you, or that new financial adventure. But at this time, let's go ahead and do our yes or no questions. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions with the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. But for question number 1, we have the 5 of diamonds. This is number 28 card. That's going to be a yes. For question number 2, we have the Jack of Hearts. This is number 22 card. That's going to be a yes for you. And then for question number 3, we have the Queen of Spades. This is number 42 card. That's also a yes. So yes, 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 Scorpio. If you watched our earlier January video, we do pull a card from this Healing Stones deck. It's a crystal for you to carry for the month. Put it on your desk at work, put it on your nightstand, keep it in your pocket. The stone that you have this month is carnelian. This helps with urge for discoveries and vitality. It makes you very courageous, gives you lots of courage, helps with those everyday challenges, and it just in general helps you do things with ease. And last but not least, Scorpio, we're going to pull a card from the Healing Note deck. We can always use a little bit more healing. Your message says you. Yes, you, the one reading this. You are beautiful, talented, amazing, and simply the best at being you. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified when I post videos in the future, and I do post a couple a month typically. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, Scorpio, and have a wonderful rest of your January.